Welcome to today's yoga practice. So today's practice is all about being uncomplicated. We've got so much cognitive overload happening right now, so many rules to remember when you go to the grocery store, rules about who you can meet with, the people in your bubble, whether or not someone is part of your bubble. So let's try and silence all of that chatter and find solitude on the yoga mat. To me, my yoga mat is an oasis, and my primary goal when I am here is to focus only on what's happening here, in my body, with my breath, how my body is responding in each pose. So today, we're going to silence the chatter that takes us off the yoga mat and focus solely on body, breath, in a very uncomplicated, simplistic way. Let's get started. Sitting comfortably. Do not need to have your legs crossed. I like to sit on a rolled up blanket. That is optional. Find a position where you feel like you're sitting up tall and you can rest comfortably for a few breaths. Every yoga practice begins with seated centering to help block out the outside world and bring yourself inward. Focus on yourself. Not always easy. So when you're settled, you can close your eyes. If you don't want to close your eyes, bring your gaze downward. Try to stay tall through the upper body. Rest your hands on your thighs, palms up or palms down, it doesn't matter whichever feels more comfortable to you and the least distracting in your body. And just take your next few breaths to scan your body. Notice if there's any tightness, any tension, any sensation at all. And if there's a part of your body that is speaking to you, trying to send you a message, just focus your mind there and breathe. Connect to the restorative qualities of your breath and how good it feels to pay attention to your physical body. To give it your breath, your healing breath. Feel your body begin to settle down and feel your mind becoming a little more focused. The chatter begins to quiet. Now relax, sink into the support beneath you. Let your legs feel heavy, your hips feel heavy, and your shoulders feel heavy. Take your time here. With your next breath in, sweep your arms up. Let your hands come together overhead. Then slowly let your hands float down, palm pressing to palm with your breath out. Do that again for 3 more breaths, moving with your own breath when you're ready. If your mind wanders, bring it back. Rein it in. The secret to being able to focus the mind is awareness, aware of when the mind wanders and bringing it back. Now pausing with hands right in front of heart center. Just take one more breath right here. Just lingering in your breath, lingering in the simplicity of just sitting and breathing. Release your hands. If your eyes are closed, go ahead and open them. Let's come to standing at the top of the mat today. So standing at the the top of the mat in mountain pose. Feet hip distance apart. Just open up through the collarbones, roll your shoulders back, let your shoulder blades slide down towards your hips so you feel really open through the front of the body. That's the best way to describe it. Find a focal point in the distance just to hold your gaze, but let it go out of focus. Your mental focus needs to rest with your body and your breath, not with the spot in the distance where you're looking. So let that go out of focus so you can bring your focus inward. Now, just like you did sitting on the mat a moment ago, I want you to just feel the sensations in your body. Start at the feet. Feel the connection, the soles of the feet with the earth below. Grounding down through the four corners of both feet. The ball of the big toe, the inner heel, the ball of the baby toe, and the outer heel. Feel a little softness in the back of the knees, but the strength in the legs. Feeling perfectly balanced, so your hips over top of your ankles. Soften through the belly with the breath in. And as you exhale, just gently pull the belly button in towards the spine, just feeling the strength within, feeling your body responding to your breath. Give the fronts of the shoulders a little pull back, opening up through the collarbones. Just opening up to the world, opening up to the breath. Now one more little adjustment, just reaching the crown of the head up towards the sky, to the ceiling, to feel long from the crown of your head all the way down to your heels. Now let's inhale, sweep the arms up. As you exhale, bend your knees and just let your arms sweep. And then inhale, sweep up, let the arms sweep upwards, and exhale, releasing. Let's do that 3 more times. A breath in, sweeping up. Breath out, bending the knees, letting your arms swing, and up. Really let your arms go, and release. 2 more times. Imagine you're a kid and you're playing on the swings, and there's no chatter in the mind taking you away from swinging. All you're doing is focusing on swinging and how much fun it can be. And returning to mountain pose. Taking a breath here, feeling good, feeling refreshed because of the breath. Inhale, sweep the arms up. As you exhale, bend your knees, bow forward, and just bring your hands just underneath your knees to your shins. Keeping a little bend in the back of the knees, just inhale, let the eyes look forward, and as you exhale, tuck your chin towards your chest, round through the shoulders, round through the lower back. Kind of scoop your tailbone under. Pull the belly button in towards the spine. Another breath, lift the eyes, look forward. Exhale, rounding through the back. Tucking the tailbone, tucking the chin. 2 more times. Moving with your own breath. Make your breath as deep as it needs to be. Follow your body's lead. Now looking down just beyond the top edge of your mat, leveling out through the spine, flattening out through the backs of the shoulders. Soles of the feet pressing into the floor. Release your hands and sweep up. Exhale, bow all the way down, bending your knees so your fingertips come to the mat. Now inhale, just lift your eyes, look forward, and as you exhale, bend your knees, plant your hands, come to table pose now. Wrists under the shoulders, knees under the hips. Toes curled under, a little bit of stability there. Looking beyond the top edge of your mat. Connect to the sensations in the palms of your hands, knees, toes. Keep the toes curled under. With your breath out, this time just push back towards your heels only until you feel a stretch into the soles of your feet. Now, if this is hard on your knees, You can go ahead and place some extra padding under your knees. As you inhale, return to table pose. Exhale, pushing back. And when you're ready to take your breath in, return to table. 2 more breaths, moving with your own breath, just a gentle push back to the heels until you feel the stretch in the soles of the feet. One more time. And press up. Now lift your left hand away from the mat and swing your left foot forward. Just kind of place your left foot where your hand was. Left hand on top of your knee. Take a breath. And as you exhale, just turn to look to the left. Use your left hand on your knee, on your thighs, a little bit of pressure, just to rotate through the rib cage and shoulders, looking straight to the left. Pause right here. Now bring the breath all the way into the belly this time. Focus there. Mental focus is with the belly and the movement deep in for the breath. With your next breath out, you're going to release. Bringing your eyes back down to the mat. Now swing your left foot out. Lift your right hand, right foot comes forward. Now bring your right foot right about to where your right hand was. Right hand to the top of your knee. Left hand is still underneath your shoulder. Using your right hand on your knee, on your thigh. With your breath out, just turn to look to the right. Pushing into your right thigh with your hand to rotate through the shoulders and rib cage. Simply to turn to the right. Then once you're in position, bring your breath into the belly. Keep your mind with your breath, with the sensations in your physical body. With your breath out, release the twist. Bring your right hand back to the mat. Right foot goes back. A little more mindful movement here, setting up your table pose. Wrists under the shoulders, knees under the hips, toes curled under. A little bit more flow, connecting body and breath. Breath in, breath out. Push into the mat, lift your heels, lift your hips up towards the ceiling, push to downward dog. Think of pushing your hips, the backs of your thighs to the wall behind you. And then inhale, returning to table pose. Exhale, lifting, downward dog. Inhale, table pose. Let's do that 2 more times. Moving with your own breath at your own pace. Last one. Returning to table pose. Now widen your knees. Bring your big toes in together to touch. Take a wide leg child's pose. Stack your hands, hand on top of hand, fist on top of fist. Rest your forehead on your hands. So resist the temptation here to reach for the top of the mat and let your arms go floppy. I want you to feel the pressure on the center of your forehead so you can relax your jaw and your neck. Really sink into your hips so you can feel your rib cage and belly on the insides of your thighs. Breathe. Now, if this is too much pressure on your hips, bring yourself forward and rest here. Again, stacking your hands and letting your forehead rest on your hands. Take one more breath. Focusing on drawing the breath into the belly. Not necessarily deepening the breath, but bringing the breath more deeply into the body. Return to table pose. Have basic position, wrists under the shoulders, knees under the hips, toes curled under. Take a breath. Exhale, lift to downward dog. Now just bring some movement to your downward dog. You can go ahead and just gently pump your heels. Follow your body's lead here. What does your body want? Really get your brain listening and hearing all the messages from your body. Now settle in. Sink both heels towards the mat. Take one more breath. And then lift your heels, bend your knees, and just slowly walk your feet towards your hands, coming up onto your fingertips, lifting your hands away from the mat as your toes come towards your fingers, and then come halfway up. Hands just under your knees, on your knees, no pressure here, just resting. Let the heels of your hands feel heavy, so there's no pressure on the back of the legs. Now just lift your eyes, look forward, pull the fronts of the shoulders back, opening up through the collarbones. Now drop the hips, but kind of notice in your peripheral vision that you can still see your toes. Your knees are not past your toes. Staying safe at all times. Now soles of the feet press into the mat. Now shift your weight forward so you can feel the weight equally on the front and the back of your feet. Now release your hands, just sweep out so your wrists are in line with your shoulders. Now bring the hands forward. Find ease here in your chair pose. Legs are working, but you feel long and tall from your hips to your shoulders, extending out through the crown of the head. Long arms, minimizing the bend in the elbows, but try not to reach with the fingertips. Think of just having the arms long, legs strong, upper body tall. Now inhale, sweep up. And as you exhale, dive back down, sweeping the arms wide, bringing your fingertips to the mat. Step your right foot back. So a walking step, and push down onto your heel. Now if the floor feels like it's far away, bring your hands once again to your knee, your left knee this time. No pressure, just resting on the heel of your hand. You can even walk your hands higher up on your left thigh. I don't want you to feel like you're reaching or feel compressed in any way. Let the breath flow. It's as simple as that. Right heel pushing down into the mat. Take a breath, really feel the stretch in the back of the right leg here. Staying long through the upper body. Now bowing forward. Keep the right heel connected to the mat. Bowing forward. Push with the left heel and lengthen the left leg. Keep a tiny bend in the back of your left knee, so the bend isn't as big now. Now draw the belly button and the rib cage in. Feel some strength through the core, so there's not as much pressure with your hands on your left thigh. There's a lot to coordinate here. So use your brain power to keep your body safe. Connect to your body and the sensations you're feeling there. Forget about all the rules that are outside your yoga mat. Focus here. Take a couple of breaths. Whew. Now bend the left knee once more. Feel the upper body lifting. Use the full length of your arms so you feel a little taller. Walk your hand higher up your thigh, right up to your hip joint. So you feel more like your shoulders are over top of your hips now. Right heel still pressing down. Now check in with your right knee. Our focus was on the left leg there for a while, so give the right leg some attention. Really open up through the back of the right knee. Feel a good grounding, good connection between the right heel and the earth below. Release your hands and just sweep your arms straight out to the side, wrists in line with the shoulders. Pause there. Take another breath. Sweep up. Now turn the palms in so your thumbs are pointing behind you. There's your focal point in the distance. Belly button and rib cage pull in to support the upper body. You need a little more stability with your arms overhead. Feel your body responding. Feel the right leg. How does it feel? Left leg. Shoulders. And what about the hands? Is there enough energy extending out through the hands and fingertips that your fingers are separated like rays of sunshine? Take one more breath. And as you exhale, sweep the arms down. Step your right foot forward. Pausing here in mountain pose. Equal weight on both feet. Feet hip distance apart. Belly button drawing in just slightly. Fronts of the shoulders pulling back, open through the front of the body. And there's the familiar focal point in the distance, straight ahead. But that's not your focus. Focus is your body and your breath. Your focus is the space on the yoga mat and what's happening within it. Inhale, sweep the arms up. As you exhale, dive down. Bend your knees enough, your fingertips come to the mat. Step the left foot back. Left foot steps back, regular walking step. Push back onto your left heel. Right knee is bent. Now if the floor feels like it's too far away, you bring your hands up to your knee. Your right knee, right thigh. Keeping a softness in the right knee. Weight is on the heel of your hand. Push with the left heel. Really open up through the back of the left leg and feel a good solid connection. Well connected, left foot and the earth. Staying long through the upper body. Now draw the belly and the rib cage in. Feel the weight release from your hands. So your hands now are just resting on your right thigh, nothing more than that. Now push down. Right heel pushes down. With your exhalation, lengthen the right leg. Keep a tiny bend in the back of the right knee so the right knee stays safe. Be really mindful of that. Keep the rib cage, the belly strong to keep the weight off of the right leg. Staying long through the upper body, open through the collarbones and shoulders. Long stretch in the right leg, but so different from the stretch in the left leg. Soften the right knee. Bring the shoulders over top of the hips. Let your hands slide up towards your hip joint to the very top of your right thigh. Take a moment, just collect yourself, right? So often we don't get a chance to do that. So take a moment here to take a breath and just collect yourself. Notice how you're feeling. Now check in with the left leg. You want the back of the left knee long. As soon as the shoulders start to come back and stack over top of the hips, the left knee automatically wants to deepen, the bend wants to deepen. So keep that long. Keeping a little mindfulness there with the left knee. Now once you feel steady and strong, you can feel the right foot pushing into the earth. Left foot well connected, back of the left leg long. Just sweep your arms straight out to the side. Wrists in line with the shoulders, thumbs pointing up towards the ceiling. Pausing for the breath out. With your next breath in, bringing your hands up. And then turning the palms inward. Energy in the hands, fingers separated. No tension in the palms of the hands, but energy there. Find the balance. Thumbs pointing behind you, arms long. Couple of breaths right here. Steady yourself with your breath. Notice if your breath is being drawn all the way into the belly. Or is the breath shallow? No judgment. Just get your breath to respond to where you want your breath to go. Now inhale, and as you exhale, release the arms and step forward. Awesome. So calm right here at the top of the yoga mat in mountain pose. I can see through the window the trees blowing, but it's so calm within. So easy to be here. Inhale, sweep the arms up. As you exhale, bend your knees, bow forward. Bring your fingertips to the mat. Come high on your fingertips. Use the full length of your arms here. Getting ready for a forward fold. Soles of the feet pressing into the mat. A tiny bend in the back of the knees. Lengthen the back of the legs as much as you feel you can by lifting your hips up towards the ceiling. Now, look straight down at the mat between your hands. So right now your ears feel like they're in line with their shoulders, and you feel broad through the shoulders. Shoulder blades are pulling in towards the spine. Now, if you feel like the floor is too far away, you can go ahead and reach for your rolled up blanket, place it under your hands, or use a yoga block if you happen to have one. Now take a breath, and as you exhale, start to bend at the elbows, relax your neck, feel the lower back rounding. Now tuck your chin in towards your chest, feel the shoulders rounding. Notice if there's any tightness anywhere. Are you clenching your jaw? Are you squeezing your eyes? Are you bracing at the hips? With each exhalation, feel yourself soften a little bit more. Really be purposeful with your breath. Connect to your body. Now reach your hands for the back of your calves or your ankles, whatever you can reach for. Stay low. And look behind you, between your knees, between your thighs, between your ankles, wherever you happen to be. Using your hands on your thighs, just to steady yourself. I want you to think about reaching your crown, the crown of your head, down towards the floor where your hands once were. Now reach. Just feel that little bit of extension through the spine. Keep that. Stay long through the upper body. Breathe through it. Release your hands. Soften through the body. Deepen the bend in your knees. Oh, look between your hands now. Feel your rib cage beginning to pull away from your thighs. Coming to the full length of your arms and fingertips. Take a breath. And as you exhale, bend your knees a little bit more. Step your right foot back. Step farther back this time. Land on the ball of your right big toe. bring your hands up onto your left thigh, one at a time, as you push yourself up. Now, bend your left knee, looking right down at your left knee until you feel like your left knee is over top of your ankle. Your knee is pointing in the same direction as your toes. Now, slide your hands up your left thighs so you can really stack your shoulders over top of your hips. Push into the mat with the ball of the right big toe and lengthen the back of the right knee. Feel yourself sink in a little bit more. So this increases the sensation in the front of the right hip. Now, if you feel unsteady here, you can go ahead and push down onto your right heel. It's just a little trickier. You might have to bring your foot a little closer, make your stance a little shorter. So we've got shoulders over top of hips. Eyes on your focal point in the distance. Doesn't need to be in focus because your mental focus is on your body, of course. Now pushing, reach your right heel to feel the extra length in the back of the right leg and the front of the right hip. Push down with the left heel. Really feel strong. Relax your arms. With your next breath in, just sweep your arms straight out to the sides. Pause here. Steady yourself with your breath. Feel the wide reach from fingertip to fingertip. Now keep the arms wide. Bring your gaze upwards now to the corner where the wall meets the ceiling. Pause. Now inhale, bring the arms overhead and the palms together. You can see your biceps in your peripheral vision, although your eyes are on the corner where the wall meets the ceiling. Now to challenge your balance here, you can even bring your eyes higher up. Wander your gaze along the ceiling and see if you can bring your eyes to your hands. Stay focused. Stay with your body so you can respond to every quiver, every wobble, and correct yourself. Or perhaps learn how to stay balanced with everything that's going on. Now keep your gaze wherever it happens to be, open up through the hands. Reach the hands corner to corner. And just feel open and free right here. Now slowly walk your eyes back to your focal point in front of you. Take a breath. And as you exhale, release your arms. Bring your hands to your hips. Now soften your right knee. Shift your weight back. You're going to push with your right foot as you step forward. So push and step forward. Release your hands, standing in mountain pose. Once again, taking a breath or two to collect yourself, to notice how you're responding, physically, mentally, and the breath. No judgment. Judgment does not belong on the yoga mat. This is the place where it is safe to be. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, dive forward. Bend your knees on the way down. Keep the knees bent. Now, using the full length of the arms, fingertips, bending your knees enough, your fingertips stay connected to the mat. Just inhale, lift the eyes, look forward. Really pull your chin away from your chest. And as you exhale, bow. Tuck your chin towards your chest. Keep your knees bent. Feel your belly and rib cage on your thighs. A breath in, lift the eyes, look forward. Pulling the chin away from the chest. And as you exhale, tucking the chin in, folding over your thighs. 2 more breaths. Moving with your own breath, at your own pace. With your next breath in,
Just lift your eyes, look down towards your hands. Step your left foot back. Long step back, landing on the ball of your left big toe. Again, if this doesn't feel safe to you, hop your foot a little closer, make your stance a little smaller, shorter. One at a time, your hands come onto your right thigh as you press yourself up. Look down at your right knee. Right knee stacked over top of your right ankle. Adjust the placement now of your left foot if you need to. If you need to push down onto your heel to stay steady, that's what you do. Check in with your body. Right knee pointing in the same direction as your toes. Hands are on your thighs. Really bring your hands high up on your thigh towards your hip joint so you can feel your shoulders stacked over top of your hips. And there's my focal point, right there. Now push down with the left foot, the ball of the left big toe. Lift up through the front of the left thigh. Really open up through the back of the left knee so you can feel the stretch in the front of the left hip. So opening up the hips here helps the energy flow, helps your breath reach, not just into the belly, but down to the soles of your feet. Now reach your left heel back. Feel yourself sink in. There's the focal point. Shoulders square, really open through the collarbones. Let's open a little bit more. So take your breath in and sweep your arms straight out side to side. Feel the long reach from fingertip to fingertip and the openness in the body. Hang on to that sensation of openness. As you take your breath in, draw into the belly, and as you exhale, reach down through the legs, the soles of the feet. Reach out through the arms, the fingertips. Now bring your gaze up. Just creep your eyes up to the corner where the wall meets the ceiling. Pause there. Steady yourself. Get your brain to send the messages to your body so your body responds in a way that you feel safe and steady. Now inhale, bring the arms overhead. Palms of the hands coming together this time. You can see your biceps out of the corner of your eyes. Arms are long. Minimize the bend in the elbows here. Now challenge yourself in a way that feels safe to you, in a way that you feel ready for. Bringing your eyes up onto the ceiling. Wandering along the ceiling as far as you feel safe and steady. Maybe bringing your eyes all the way to your hands, no farther than that. Breathe into the belly. Stay focused. Focus with your body. The moment your mind wanders, that's when you're going to fall out of your pose. Train yourself to respond. Now open up the hands with your next breath in, reaching corner to corner. Feel open, feel free. Although it's still challenged, bring your gaze straight ahead. Finding your focal point once again. Reach the arms straight out side to side. Oh. Still some strength in the shoulders there, but not as intense. The intensity has eased. Then release the hands. Bring your hands to your hips. Bend your left knee, shift your weight back. Now get ready to push with your left foot as you step forward. Returning to mountain pose. Taking a couple of breaths. Just to notice how your body responded through that sequence, through your Sun Warrior pose. Breathe. Inhale, sweep the arms up. As you exhale, bend your knees, bow forward. Bring your fingertips to the mat. We'll take 4 breaths here, just like we did a few minutes ago. A deep enough bend in the knees, you can feel your belly and rib cage resting on your thighs. Inhale, come high on the fingertips, lift the eyes, look forward, pulling your chin away from your chest. As you exhale, fold over your thighs. Another breath in. Lift the eyes, look forward. And folding over the thighs. 2 more breaths, moving with your own breath at your own speed. Let your breath guide your movement. Mindfully look forward as you take your breath in. Mindfully fold over the thighs with your breath out. Now lift your eyes, look down at your hands. Getting ready now to lengthen through the back of the knees. With your exhalation, pull the hips up towards the ceiling. Keep a tiny bend, a little bit of softness in the back of the knees as you fold. Feeling the stretch in the back of the legs. If this is where your hands pull away from the floor, again, reach for your blanket, reach for your yoga block. Now drop the crown of your head so it's pointing in the direction of your fingertips. So your eyes are now looking behind you, between your thighs, between your knees, however deep your forward fold needs to be. You're looking behind you. Now actively reach the crown of the head down towards your fingertips. Spot right between your hands at the very center. Now one at a time, take your hands, hold the back of your calves, the back of your ankles, wherever you happen to be. Take a breath. As you exhale, reach the crown of the head down towards the floor where your hands once were. And use your hands just to ease a little more deeply into your forward fold. But not increasing intensity in any way here. So being aware of that. Feel the movement of your belly and your rib cage with every breath. Feel your body releasing, going deeper with every breath. With your next exhalation, bend your knees. Bend your knees enough now that you can plant your hands on the mat and just slowly walk your feet back to downward dog. Really find your perfect downward dog here. Perfect being not how you think it looks, but how it feels. Feeling the palms of the hands connected to the earth, soles of the feet connected to the earth. Having your feet far enough away from your hands, you can feel the long stretch in the sides of your body from your elbows to your hips. If your heels are lifted away from the mat, that's perfectly fine. For you, this is your perfect downward dog. Because it feels good. Lift your heels, bring your knees all the way down to the mat. And take a child's pose. Whatever version of child's pose suits you. I like a wide leg child's pose with my big toes tucked together. If you want to keep your knees closer together and fold over your thighs, go for it. You decide if you want your hands reaching towards the top of the mat, arms active, arms relaxed and heavy, or stacking your hands and resting your forehead on the back of your hands, or fist on top of fist. There's so many options here in child's pose. Find a version that is least distracting for you. Find the version where your sole purpose is to breathe. Press up. Swing your legs round. Now, if you have a blanket, go ahead and sit on the blanket. Or a towel, or a yoga block. All of those things work. If you don't, that's okay too. So sitting tall with the legs crossed. Doesn't matter which leg is in front because we're going to take care of both sides, so don't worry about that. So sitting tall, bring your hands beside you, come high on your fingertips, so you're using cupcake hands here, pretending you have a delicious cupcake under the palm of your hand and you don't want to squish it. Use the length of your fingers, your arms, to really feel tall and long through the upper body, from your hips to the crown of your head. Relax your shoulders. Take a breath. Now keep that. Stay tall. A breath in, sweep the arms up. And as you exhale, move forward just enough that you can bring your fingertips to the mat in front of you. Staying tall, of course. Now if your fingertips don't reach the mat, grab another blanket, another towel, a block to bring the floor closer to you. Take a breath. And as you exhale, just gently bend at the elbows and ease yourself into a forward fold. Now keep your gaze beyond the top edge of your mat here, so you stay long through the upper body. Focus your awareness on the inner thighs and the lower back. Now moving the placement of your hands as your forward fold deepens. Take one more breath. Now using your hands, push into the earth with your fingertips and bring yourself up until you're tall once again. Right hand beside your hip, tall. Inhale, left hand sweeps up. And as you exhale, rotate, turning to the right, bringing your left hand to the outside of your right thigh. Now drop both shoulders down. So because we're cross-legged here, it's a little trickier to turn all the way to the right. Think of turning to the corner so that you can keep the left shoulder heavy. Because what will happen is as you try to deepen your turn, the right shoulder will slide up to make room, but we want to keep, the left shoulder down. You don't want the left shoulder to slide up. It's not about the depth of the turn, it's about bringing the breath into the belly. As you exhale, release the twist, bring yourself back to center. Now switching, place the other leg in front. Starting at the beginning, working a single breath at a time, one step at a time. Hands to the sides, fingers reaching for the floor, using the full length of the fingers and the arms to support the upper body, sitting tall. Now inhale, keep the length in the upper body as you reach up.
As you exhale, bow forward. Far enough forward, you bring your fingertips to the mat in front of you, or yoga block in front of you if the floor feels like it's too far away. Looking beyond the top edge of your mat with your next breath out, just bend at the elbow, easing into your forward fold, going slowly. We're going to take a few breaths here, so there's no rush. Keep your mental focus with the inner thighs, the hips, the lower back. Just notice how different one side feels from the other. Adjusting the placement of your hands as your forward fold deepens. Let go of any ambition that you have here and just connect to the sensation in your body. One more breath. Use your fingertips, your hands, arms for support. Push down as you lift yourself up. Sitting tall once again. Left hand to the floor beside your hip. High on your fingertips, use the full length to support the upper body. Inhale, right arm sweeps up. And as you exhale, turning to the left this time, right hand comes to the outside of the left thigh. It's a far reach. So try not to overset your twist. Look simply to the corner. This is just a 45-degree twist. It's the reach of the right arm to the outer left thigh that's really going to stretch through the back of the shoulder blade and the back of the rib cage. And once in position, focus on your breath, bringing your breath to the spot in your body where you want it to go, into the belly. It seems so simple, but it takes so much focus to get your body to respond in a way that you want it to. That's why you have to practice. With your breath out, release your twist. Come all the way back to center. Now stretch your legs out one at a time. Legs straight out in front. Spread your toes. Hands to the sides of your body, sitting tall once again. Keep that. Keep all the length in your upper body as you take a breath in and sweep your arms up. With your breath out, bow forward. Far enough forward you can bring your hands to your knees, your shins. Another breath, and as you exhale, bending at the elbows one more time to ease into a forward fold. Just keep your eyes on your big toes to stay long through the upper body. Take one more breath and press up. Now if you're sitting on a blanket or a towel, you can go ahead and scoot off of that. Bring your toes to the top of the mat. Feet flat on the floor. Just hold the back of your knees as you ease yourself back, lying all the way back onto the mat. Stretch your legs out. Coming into final relaxation with your hands at your sides. Now tuck your shoulder blades underneath you. Feel really open through the front of the body. Let the back of the body support you and just kind of sink into the back of the body, sinking into the earth. Now you can go ahead and close your eyes. If you don't want to close your eyes, just let whatever focal point you're looking at on the ceiling, just let it go blurry.
Try not to control your breath here. Allow your breath to flow. Progressively relax a little more deeply with each breath out. So as you exhale, just feel the back of the hips, the lower back sinking into the floor. Now do the same thing with the rib cage and the shoulders. As you exhale, feel the connection growing with the support below, literally. As more of your body sinks into the earth and releases. With your next breath out, relax the back of your neck, your jaw. Feel the heaviness at the base of the skull. And now the backs of the arms and the hands. Shifting awareness now to the thighs, the backs of the calves, the backs of your heels, and the soles of your feet. Feeling the heaviness of your legs, completely relaxed. The heaviness of the arms and the hands, completely relaxed. The heaviness, the backs of the shoulders, the base of the skull, completely relaxed. Exhaling, feeling yourself sinking into the earth. Back of the hips, lower back, back of the rib cage. Noticing the simplicity of letting go by being deliberate and mindful with your breath. But how contradictory it is and how difficult it can be to rein in the mind and focus where you want your focus to go. It can be so hard to be so uncomplicated. I invite you to stay here in final relaxation for as long as you feel you need to today. Or slowly begin to come out at your own pace, beginning with movements, your fingertips, your toes, your hands, and your feet. Bend your knees one at a time, placing your feet on the floor. Just gently roll onto your right side. Another spot right here to linger if you choose. If you're not quite ready to return, just slowly press up. Sitting tall once again. Hands together in front of the heart. Eyes softly closed or gazing downward.
Linger here with your breath, with your focus where you want it to be. Taking a moment to be grateful. May all beings be happy. May all beings be healthy. May all beings be loved. And may all beings be at peace. Thank you very much for joining me today. Namaste.